All right, next, today I'm gonna teach you how to do a reverse hyper. It's called a reverse hyper because the old school version of back extensions were often called back hyper extensions. Terrible name, right? So that's the one where your legs are stable and your torso moves. On this one, your torso is stable and your legs are gonna move, hence the name reverse hyper. The reason we love this exercise so much is it's one of the exercises that allows your back to safely go through flexion or bending and extension. One of the things we really like about it is that in the flexion portion, it tractions the back. So it actually allows the back to round and stretch and allows some synovial fluid to run in between the disc. And so it helps to traction and rehab the back, while then also helping to strengthen the back in the extension portion. So I'm gonna show you how it works. It's not that difficult, looks kind of scary. And the nice thing about this is there are a lot of companies right now that are putting out versions of this, including Rogue has a cheaper version they call the Scout model. So we're seeing more and more of our clients buy these. We don't have a sponsorship with any of those companies, but we're seeing more and more people have them. So we need to make sure they know how to do this correctly. So the first thing you're gonna do is walk forward and put your feet in the straps. And the key here is to keep the straps taut the entire time. We don't ever want to let the straps go loose, right? So once your feet are in the straps, you're going to hop up on the bench pad or on the pad of the reverse hyper and let your hips hang off the pad. So go ahead and hop up, torso's on the pad just like that. Hips are hanging off. You're going to grab the handle so you can see the pelvis is hanging off of the pad. If you relax your back's going to relax just like that. It's going to put some traction on your back. To get it started, you're just gonna start to lift your legs, and the range of motion won't be great on rep 1, and then just start the pendulum swinging. And with each rep, you're gonna get a bigger range of motion. And at the top, you're gonna try to hold and relax, so that it's traction and extension, flexion and extension, traction and extension, just like that. To finish the set, you're gonna slow it down while keeping it taut. One more time, nice and taut, slow. And then once it stops, you can hop back off and just step out of the straps and you're good to go. That's how you do the reverse hyper. So again, the things we love about this, if we do it right, it allows us to set a nice hard extension at the top. And what I'm thinking about at the top of a reverse hyper is I'm thinking about stopping and actually pausing in that extension piece. I probably can't actually stop, but I'm thinking that's the cue to myself. I'm gonna try to hold it as long as I can. And then as the pendulum starts swinging, I'm gonna relax my low back and let it pull me as far forward as I can and traction my low back, right? So let's do it one more time. Let's do about 5 reps. So step in again. Keep the strap taut. Hop up on the pad. Hips are hanging off. Grab the handles just like so. And then get it moving. Don't worry about range of motion on the first rep or 2. Just get the thing swinging. Now full range of motion and hold, relax. Hold, relax, just like so. That looks great. Perfect. 2 more, 1 more, and then slow it down. Slow it down. And the reason we do that is if you keep the thing moving really quick, it's gonna come back and hit you in the shins. So you've gotta keep the strap taut. Hop down, step off, and you're good to go. Now, let's talk about how we program this thing. One of the things you'll notice about if your hips are hanging off the pad correctly, it's really hard to breathe, right? Because the pad is gonna press on your belly, on your diaphragm. So it's hard to do more than about 12 reps on this thing. I like 12 reps. I like to do 12 or 15 reps if I can get enough air in to breathe, because I'm trying to get this as a rehab movement most of the time. So like 3 or 4 sets of 12. The other way I like to do this is to load up more weight, just titrate it up, linear progression style. And I might work up to something like 3 sets of 6 or 3 sets of 8 to actually build more back strength. So what a lot of people will do is they'll do this twice a week on their lower body day after deadlifts, 1 day light for high volume, 1 day heavy for low volume, and you're done and you're done. So it almost always is the last movement you'll do of the day, because we're thinking of it as being a rehab movement, not just a movement that we use for strengthening the low back, although it also works really well for low back exercises. Here's who shouldn't use it. People who tend to struggle with holding their back in extension when they deadlift. If you tend to struggle, you start to pull a deadlift and your back rounds really bad, or you struggle to hold your back in extension, this is a bad piece of equipment to use at the time, because we want you to learn how to hold your back in extension through an entire deadlift. And since this takes you through flexion and extension. I don't want people who struggle to keep their back in extension doing this. It's great for people who tend to strain their back a little bit, have those little nagging low back injuries, sciatic nerve pain, problems in their like L4, L5, S1, that kind of area between the bottom of your spine and your pelvis. This is a great rehab piece that we love. Motion is lotion. This is a great way to use it. Flexion and extension, probably the safest exercise that you can do that takes your back through its full range of motion. So that's why we love the reverse hyper. For more great low back accessory exercises, how to get your low back strong, you're gonna click the link right up there.